Conscious Living and Loving. I'm Taylor.
And I'm Amy.
And welcome back to the yurt.
Hi. Needed one more tone there.
Yes. And that is the tone of F because we are on Crown Chakra today. We have made it from the root all the way up to the Crown Chakra. So welcome to video number 7.
Wow.
Wow. Wow is right. I would have not imagined us here filming video 7 the way that we are.
Right.
And just anywhere when we started doing our Instagram lives. So
yeah.
Thank you for believing in this journey with me and all of you for staying for the journey and hopefully continuing with us after as well.
Yes.
So why don't you get started telling us a little bit about the Crown Chakra?
Okay, the Crown Chakra is the top of the traditional 7 chakra chain that we talk about that's in this picture, that's traditionally seen in any kind of chakra representation that you look at. So it is at the crown, it's the Crown Chakra, it's the connection to source. Now, I've been sitting here thinking about I am a lover of spirit. I love me some God. I experience God in many different ways, and I've been raised in a certain tradition, which for me was a wonderful scaffolding to have, and it grew and it progressed into the infinite possibilities of how God is experienced, felt, expressed, and so it doesn't negate my early teachings. It's just that where I've gone with my stuff is to open up to infinite possibilities. And so I was doing some thinking about how do you talk about this connection to source without bringing like religion into it. It doesn't have to be a source of spirit of, in my language it does, but that doesn't mean it has to be. It's the connection maybe to infinite life, the connection to the beyond, however you want to say it. But it being the top of this chakra chain and its direction is up, and we've talked about the first chakra and now its direction is down. And when Taylor came up the pathway today to the yurt, we hugged extra long. We hugged on both sides because both of us have had 3 weeks of not getting together and filming because of COVID exposure possibilities. And as we were hugging, I was like, oh my gosh, look at the beauty of the red leaves. And so it really brought us to this full circle feeling of root to crown. And
to add on to that, I feel like throughout this whole journey, or these last 7 weeks, well, now 10 weeks, it's been a super grounding experience for me. And in each healing of each week, I've been drawn to the ground more. And like even right before we started filming, I was like, I think I need to go look at the trees for a minute because it's like in these last weeks I found that nature and the ground and in myself is where I feel most connected to source, and it's not sending necessarily outward but upward into myself and the aura that I have around me, which I think is really powerful, and then grounding within myself each of those chakras, which has been super helpful. And I love that we've been seeing all the extra red today. So comment below too if you've been seeing red before watching this video to see if you're in a grounded place as well.
Yes, that's true. This whole journey has been so special for me as well, and deepened that just the connection to all of my chakras, because throughout this journey of life that I've been on, I really recognized that I valued the spirit. So again, like for me it's spirit, but the upper chakras, and didn't always value the human, messy cosmic connection that we are. And we're, as a whole being, which is what I'm continually opening up to, my wholeness, I just am amazed at how very vital and important each area is, and that they're all in relationship to the whole. And I just really am so grateful for this opportunity to, be worked, like we've said, like it's coming through, and just to kind of deepen. And also with like this crown chakra, I was thinking about enlightenment, and enlightenment, how I would define it today is recognizing that I am still so much in a discovery. I used to think of enlightenment as a something I could get to, as a finish line. And then I guess I had this fantasy that if I got there, you know, all my bills would be paid. I'd never have an argument, you know, everything would be great. And that was a fallacy that really I had a big fall from grace when I realized that's not true. And it was a whole huge deep journey, which was really important for me. But at this point in time, it's like, the more I open up to what I don't know, the more I have access to like infinite possibilities. And the humility, I think, is required to continually be able to hear and to listen and to grow and to discover, because even all of the, you know, I've been studying the Akashic Records, so you have access to everything, right? It's a recording of everything of everybody. And that's just what's been. I mean, there's still we're in creation, right? So it's like unlimited. So I've been like freaking out
because
thinking
it's only
about
what's
it.
been documented,
Right.
is what you're being given this access to.
Yes.
Whereas there's so many things that people don't document that it's like, oh, where's that information? How do I access that?
Yeah.
That people haven't written down about, which is a very powerful thought in itself.
Yes, there's so
and
much.
definitely something I've been sitting in that place a lot this last week of, okay, if you don't put this information out for other people, is it accessible to anyone else besides yourself? But with that, does anyone else's soul need that human experience, or is it just my soul that needs that human experience?
Interesting.
Yeah, it's so fun.
Okay.
The third eye to the crown chakra transition for me has been very powerful. And of course, to me, I'm like, oh, of course, it was 3 weeks that we had as our transition period from third eye to crown.
That's true.
Where it's like, oh, we have to have the threes. And, and my dreaming has been more vivid, and we had to go through Friday the 13th, and the new moon, and like all these different like energy downloads, which I think is interesting too. When, especially for me, I'm a person that my crown chakra connection and third eye connection is dreaming. And I didn't have that for a significant period of time while we were doing the other chakras. And then like this morning, I woke up from probably the most vivid dream that I've had probably ever.
Oh my gosh, that's so cool.
And it's cool when it's like someone super significant in my life too, that's like in it, and it's like, oh, you're who I connect with, like the crown chakra, and they're coming in and they're like, oh, you're good, like you've got it, like, and it's cool to have that information downloaded. At the end, or like at the end of this journey for me and us filming today.
Yeah, that's wonderful.
Yeah, I was really excited about it.
I love that. Tell me about this.
Yeah, well, that was going to be my transition, because I was like, and speaking of it, I actually used it last night before going to bed, which makes it even cooler. Our crown chakra rollerball today is lavender, frankincense, and Egyptian, oh my gosh, how did I say it again?
Rose geranium.
Geranium. It's because whenever I say rose geranium, it works, but if I say Egyptian geranium, it doesn't work. But it's Egyptian geranium, which is just a form of that rose.
So good.
And so it's the same essential oils as the heart chakra rollerball. However, it's a different blend amount. And then you also have the amethyst and clear quartz that we had in the third eye, so you can create that connection from the third eye up to the crown chakra. And also interesting in that the heart chakra and the crown chakra are both tone F. That there's such that connection between your heart and your head in all aspects of life, not just healing work. But yeah, this is honestly my favorite rollerball that I've made of them.
That's beautiful.
Which is really cool.
It's wonderful. It's so good.
Thank you.
I was having a rough day yesterday, and I had the sacral chakra, the I am powerful, and the heart chakra all online, and I was just like, I'm dosing today.
Apparently I am powerful is present right now because Emma was hanging out with Brandon last night, and they were making TikToks and doing their thing, and he hurt himself, and then they came in my room, he goes, I think I need some I'm powerful, can you give me a rollerball, please?
I'm hurt.
So it's useful for tools other than just the shock, because hurt ankles, wonderful for that as well. Pride a little bit as well, for hurting yourself making TikToks.
That's awesome. Well, this is wonderful, and I'm so grateful for all of this support. It's so good. It's a crazy time, right? So we've been saying how crazy it is throughout all of these, but anyway, this is a time where, you know, like, I guess I just want to preface how important it is to be resilient and not rigid. Mm-hmm. And it seems to me that any and all of my rigid places are getting like, dink. Yeah. What do you think about this one? And brought up and brought forward, you know, making plans is kind of, well, you can make the plan, but you better be ready and willing to be creative about the plan. And
that's so funny, because like with the plan for like today, I was like telling my mom all these different ideas I had on how we could film still, even if we weren't able to be together. And I was like, we have to be like able to film today though, because it's time. Yeah. And you really do have to just be flexible with life, because with time, all of it's an illusion, and whatever we create from it is what we're going to get out of it.
Yes.
And so it's like, okay, we are going to film today. We're going to make it happen. Right. And it's, how do you make it happen? Same with, oh, I'm in a bad mood this morning. How do I fix that? How do we get out of it?
Right.
What needs to shift?
Yes.
And instead of turning outward on how it needs to shift, turn inward and be like, okay, these are how I can shift inside of me to make it work on my end.
Right.
Hopefully the other person or whatever source or whatever is doing their part on the other side.
Right.
Yeah.
I like that. I was in a pretty negative space yesterday, and I showed up for my class that I'm in, and I didn't want to be there, and so I was writing. It isn't because I don't love the class, because I love the class. So I'm writing like, I don't want to be here right now, and then I'm like, I just don't, I'm like, blah, blah, blah. And then it's like, I realize like, if I don't want to be me right now, like, and I don't want to feel the way I'm feeling, but I feel this way. So it's like, and I'm in my skin. And then when I said like, I don't want to be me right now, like, I was like, that's not true. And it kind of shifted me, but my willingness to say something that's pretty hurtful to me, to say I don't want to be me right now. I didn't realize that me saying I don't want to be here was like, when I explored that, you know, it's really interesting to not let yourself stop at the victim place, because that's the really tempting place to stop, right? It's like, and I'll just wallow here for a little bit. But it was like moving through all that and then really realizing it, and then like that shift come around, and of course it ended up being a really great class, and I got a lot from it, and I was able to have a good sleep and move into today in a place of like, to me that's like building a muscle. And all of this work is just, life is constantly changing. I'm constantly changing. If I desire to use these tools and this consciousness and this physical body and this life that I have, I can do so much work and progress through my soul's, you know, evolution. Or I don't have to. Like, there aren't any, you know, rules necessarily.
Choice. Exactly. That's your sticky note on your.
I wrote that sticky note last night.
I was like, I love that. That's so perfect.
And I wrote it in big capital letters, because I was like, I wrote that after I had done all that other writing, and I'm like, choice. I have a choice right now. I can be whatever. And it was funny how, I love that you saw that and brought that up, because I was just thinking of that.
Well, and I think that it's interesting in you saying that you don't want to be me, because that could have been like, that vibration you were feeling, I don't want to be this vibration of me, but the only human way to say that is, I don't want to be me. Right. And people take that so out of context of, oh, I want to kill myself, or I don't want to like be here in this life for anything like that. Whereas it's just, I don't want to be feeling these feelings because they don't resonate with me. They're not mine. And I need to move out of them.
Yes.
Which, in recognizing that, I feel like it can help a lot with thoughts like that, and depression and anxiety and dealing with other people's emotions as well as your own is, okay, where's my vibration at? Let me check in with what serves me.
Right. No, thank you so much for pointing that out. And that is, I mean, it's true, right?
Yeah.
It's challenging to have the space when you feel like that to recognize you have a choice. And I think that's where things can get really bad really quickly, is because it's almost like falling down this dark hole and you get disoriented.
When you take away your choice because you feel like it, because you're not able to maybe feel it that moment that you have one, like you completely take it away because you don't know it's present, or you don't allow it to be present.
Yes.
It's like the, I don't remember, it's like Pavlov, Freud, or whoever that does the dog thing.
Pavlov dog, yeah.
Okay, yeah, so when they do the dog thing where they shock the dog every time that they get food, and so the dog stops asking for food. So it's like, okay, every time I try to give myself that opportunity, I feel like I get shut down. So I'm just gonna stop giving myself any option besides, that, or like, oh, it's so hard to be happy, or every time I'm happy, something else happens, or it's like, okay, but every time something happens, you become happy again. Yeah. And it's the reverse conditioning of, oh, I'm just gonna see the sadness rather than I'm gonna see the happiness in everything, which is what I'm currently trying to recondition myself to do. Which is fun it's a fun experience and difficult experience when you're around people who do go to the negative, where you are trying to go to the positive from the negative, and they're like, what are you doing? Like, quit shooting rainbows out your butt. It's like, no,
it's really annoying.
It's really difficult to shoot the rainbows out my butt. I'd love to throw just all my negative out there and like wallow in it. Right. However, you do all the work and you're like, well, I just did all that work. Why would I go back?
Right.
And then you just have to get to like halfway up the mountain, and then you'll realize how worth it is to keep climbing the mountain.
You know, and it's funny. It's kind of like the mountain, exactly, or like in an apartment, say, or in a hotel. You know, you're on this floor, and you don't know what's going on all those floors. You only know what's going on your floor. But when you go up and you visit, say, even the penthouse, which is wonderful, it's like, you can always go down. You can always lower your vibration and go hang out in that vibration, but you're probably going to feel it a lot more strongly because you're not conditioned to it anymore. And so you're going to want to get out of it, and probably going to spend less time there until you choose not to visit it anymore. And I mean, that's kind of where I'm at with myself. It's like, okay, well, I mean, I can go hang out there if I choose to, but it's not very satisfying for me anymore. And it's kind of like, you know, when you eat well and then you eat a bunch of junk and you feel like shit. It's like,
you tried the whole 30.
It's challenging.
It's challenging when you're doing it with other people.
Oh yeah.
Because I feel like myself personally, for me, I never saw it as I'm going into a diet. I'm not doing this for 30 days. And I presented that to my family at the very beginning. I said, I'm not doing this for 30 days. If I make it 2 days eating good and then I mess up, then that's fine. But I'm going to continue to keep trying to eat good after. Where their thought process is, okay, if I mess up once, then it's over. I'm done doing the diet or whatever. And my thing is, I want it to be a lifestyle change. So I go into the kitchen now and I'm like, oh, I'm hungry. Let's pick. So I pick out 2 different fruits, and then I'll pick out like a treat or something that I want to have too. So it's like I'm finding balance, and I'm choosing the healthier option first, and then having that piece of candy or something that's sitting there that I can have after. And the amount of times that I've chosen not to eat the candy after eating the fruit is amazing. Like I've had like 50% of the time I won't eat the candy because I'm like, I don't need it, I'm okay. Like I've gotten what I already want out of eating the food.
I love it.
And so it's like I'm changing my mindset on what I feel like I need to be eating. And that, like, I'm like, that's exactly what I wanted out of it. Good was to change something.
Sure. Yeah.
So to be fair, the whole 30 is wonderful. It's going great for me. It's just mine's not 30 days.
Yeah.
Whereas for some people, healing your chakras is going to be a 7-day process. For other people, it's going to take 7 years.
Right.
It's just depends on
And
who you
hopefully
are.
a lifetime of
Well, yeah, and then
15.
a lifetime of 15, obviously, 100%.
There's Dr. Joe Dispenza has a great book that's called Changing the Habit of Being Yourself. I think that's what it's called. And
That sounds, just the title in itself sounds wonderful.
yeah, it is. And that's where something like eating is such a, you know, we have to do it to stay alive. So when you make a dramatic shift in your eating, it brings a lot of other things to the forefront pretty quick.
Mm-hmm.
And so,
Yeah.
and fear, threat, danger is one of the things that can go off in a body like, you know, I'm going to die without my ability to eat dairy or whatever. And it's,
Yeah.
I mean, it's that kind of stuff that is like, okay, you know, and you can just recognize the alarms that go off. And two, you're in choice again still, like you said. It's like, am I going to do it or am I not going to do it? And, you know, I think those are the best eating plans when you do have the ability to not throw the baby out with the bathwater, just be like, okay, well, slipped over there, I'm gonna get back up. I'm gonna keep walking. You know, you're gonna keep choosing your highest good. You know, whether it's 100% of the time or just as much of the percent of the time as you can consciously be there.
Oh, and I think it's interesting that you said that your body goes into those fight or flight. Yeah. How they go into that. Because I feel like the way I was approaching it was trying to make it so my body didn't do that. Mm-hmm. Where it was like, oh, okay, I'm cool with this. Like, you're not changing too much. You're just changing the thought process of the food. Yeah. Where it's not, I'm not changing the food. It's just changing the relationship to the food and what I feel like I want in the moment. Right. And saying, okay, you want candy. Well, let's pick something that has sugar in it first and see if it's sugar rather than eating processed junk. Right. And then it's interesting to see how, like, well, we all know we've got our FBI agents and the people who, like, program what we see on Instagram and whatnot. So it's interesting to see that stuff has changed for me since I started eating healthier. Is more like healthy eating things are coming up, or don't eat this food, or eat this food, or oysters are good for you. And like, you know, oysters are the most like nutrient rich food you can eat.
I did not.
They're
love
like
oysters.
They're best food for you.
Wow.
I know. It's interesting things you learn on Instagram.
Yeah.
Fact check yourself. Check who you fact check with, though.
Yeah, right. It's all facts.
It's all.
What's in our cards today?
Oh, yes. We've got the crown. We have, it's the crown. Like, there's a crown on top. But it's the Ace of Swords, so we're being given a gift from Source through knowledge, which the crown chakra is knowledge from Source. So that, and it's upright, so we are in full connection.
I love it.
Yeah, the angels are excited, yep. And we have done the inner work, so we can now flow outward. I'm gonna stand up and move these cards closer for a second.
That is so awesome.
Just because, so, and you've got the yellow bright here and yellow here. But so she's taking from outward and then flowing inward to be able to pour out and water the garden outside of her. Which this is like one of my favorite cards because I'm like, that is who I want to be every day of my life.
I love that.
Is the Star and Temperance, because they're both, well, Temperance is more about flowing in yourself, whereas the Star is flowing outward and finding the light in the darkness, because you're the star, so you're the light in the dark, basically.
I love it.
So that I couldn't give a better reading for the last one. Like, I'm not even gonna shuffle anymore.
I love that. Okay, well, I have a little bit of meditation that kind of goes along in that regard. So let's pick up our roller balls, yes, and center ourselves, just getting in touch with our breath, getting into a comfortable seated position or laying down, whichever way is best for you. Making any adjustments you need to your physical body. Taking one nice, full, deep cleansing breath. exhaling, releasing whatever doesn't serve you at this moment. I invite you to visualize a beautiful, strong white light that's coming up through the earth, through your feet, up your legs, through your knees, your upper thighs, into your hips, up through your abdomen, and into your heart. And then bring your attention to above your head and invite in that brilliant white, beautiful light that's coming in through the top of your head, through your seventh chakra, your crown. Warming the top of your head, moving in, bathing your eyes, your sinuses, your brain. Moving that beautiful white light down through your mouth, your neck, your shoulders, arms, your chest, your heart and lungs, and stopping to meet that other white light in your heart. Allowing those two lights to become one in union in your heart. Inhale, and as you exhale, push those lights out through your heart, through the front and the back, opening up your heart field. Nice. In this place of being connected to the earth, being suspended and engulfed in light from the earth, from the heavens, the sky, from source. Your heart field open. See that light in movement. See if you can see the movement from above to below, from below to above, beside you, in front of you, behind you, all-encompassing light, the light of your being and your beingness. Now we're going to move into the first chakra, this beautiful red spinning disc of energy. We're going to visualize it as a red jewel. And I invite you to spin it, spin it, spin it, spin it. Spin it so much that it just spins and it bursts into a brilliant sun. And it offers some of its light up into the second chakra. So there we meet this beautiful orange jewel. And we're going to spin it. Spin it. Spin it until it bursts into a brilliant sun. And it offers its light up into the third chakra. There we meet the brilliant sun, that beautiful yellow. Spin it. Spin it until it bursts into a beautiful sun. And it offers its light up into the fourth, to the heart. Spin that jewel, that beautiful green jewel of heart essence. Spin it until it bursts into a beautiful sun. And it offers its light up into the fifth. There we meet this beautiful sky blue energy jewel. Spin it. Spin it until it bursts into a beautiful sun, offering its light into the sixth chakra. There we meet this beautiful indigo jewel, this deep purple. Spin it. Spin it until it bursts into a beautiful sun, offering its light up into the 7th, your crown. Here we meet this beautiful, shimmering jewel. It's got like a lavender, opalescent, golden light to it, and you spin it. You spin it until it bursts into a beautiful sun, and it offers its light to your whole entire being, your entire auric field, your mental, emotional, physical bodies, all layers, dimensions, planes of existence. Allow that light, that beautiful light of union, to blast through all of you, all of your being, all of your essence, all of your time-space reality, your past, present, future, your infinite now. Allow all of you to be included in this offering of love and this offering of light. In this timeless moment, this I am, this love, I am this light, I am this beautiful being. I am. Anchoring this love, this light into this timeless now. Knowing that we can access the sensation of brilliance, of radiant brilliance at any moment, at any time. So we set this truth on always. We take one deep, healing, illuminating breath. Hold at the top. And exhale fully. Gently wiggling your fingers and toes to bring yourself fully back into this physical body, maintaining the love and light that you are. Gently opening your eyes when you're ready.
That was awesome. Your meditations are so wonderful.
Oh, you're so sweet.
And I love the rain with it too. Hopefully you guys can hear the rain with it because it's real nice.
Yeah, it is nice. It is nice.
But I love that you had it be the suns in each place. I thought that was really cool. Yes. And I think that's a wonderful technique too, to like, if you feel you're not generating as much power in one area that you'd like to, just remembering that jewel that's there and asking for it to be respun again to recreate it. I love that.
That's good.
Or even come back and watch them or listen to the meditation again to receive that power.
Yeah. There's also that concept of going, like, if you have an issue somewhere, go to the chakra below to heal it and to support it. And so just that, that we have access to all of this. And my hope is that we do continue to do these videos and we keep exploring different things, but to bring this system to sort of a close in a unified manner is really cool.
Yeah, no, and I thought it was really powerful to end in that way. So should we close out for the last time of the Chakra Series?
Thank you.
Yes, thank you all for being here. Make sure you like, subscribe, comment, and stay tuned for more. We've got breath work and meditation and so many other things coming.
Please feel free also to ask for what you want or
Yes.
what you want to know about. Is there something you're working on that you need support? Because the thing that I've found is true, you think you're alone with your stuff until you share it. And then when you share it, it's like, oh my gosh, you know, the details may be a little bit different, but we can also relate. We're all rocking this, you know,
Yeah, you don't know
experience.
what-
And
where people will connect in what way.
yes.
So,
And how much you're willing to be vulnerable and ask for something is such a support to others. So I
Yes.
just want to encourage that and give you a pre-thank you for that.
yes, and our inboxes are always open for you. So feel free to message us, and we don't have to give you the answer here either.
Yeah.
We can always give you the message somewhere else.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah.
And we will see you in those places.
Yes, we will.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Namaste.